ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بعد الهمم ولا يناله غوص الفطن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت معدود ولا أجل ممدود فطر الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالصخور ميدان أرضه والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين سيدنا الممجد بشيرنا المصدق نذيرنا المؤيد المصطفى الأمجد محمود الأحمد الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين قال عنهم الرسول اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم إنهم مني وأنا منهم فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين عليه الصلاة والسلام. سلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. We started yesterday on the subject of our responsibilities towards our Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman Ajjal Allah Ta'ala Farajh al-Sharif. And we mentioned that the concept of intidar, or the period of waiting, has to be an active period rather than a passive period. Each and every supplication given to us, each and every prescribed ritual that has been given to us, if we study the essence of that particular ritual, it is leading us towards the movement of receiving the 12th Imam alayhi salam. It is asking us to create a just society. It is demanding from us to do Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi anil Munkar. It is leading us towards creating this ideal world which makes it possible for Imam alayhi salam to make his reappearance. Sitting stagnant within the community, sitting stagnant within the ummah, sitting in the state of doing nothing and being passive in everything that we do does not lead us any further. When we study the history of Islam, when we look at the life of the Holy Prophet of Islam, when we look at the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and we look at the lives of the A'imma alayhi salam, you will see that every single step of their life was a movement towards a particular goal. We mentioned that the Holy Prophet of Islam mentions Al-Qa'im, meaning the awaited Savior, meaning the one who will rise. He mentions him in the beginning of his life, and he talks about him by name, and he mentioned, as I mentioned yesterday in the hadith, Ismuhu yuwati ismi, his name will be my name, wa huwa min wuldi Fatima, he will be from the children of Fatima, and yamla'u al-arda qista ba'da ma muli'at dhulman wa jawra, he will make his reappearance for sure. He will bring peace and justice in this world, just like it will have been filled with oppression and tyranny during the end times. So the movement towards Imam alayhi salam has to be an active movement. And our past, we mentioned yesterday, is Karbala, one of the most inspirational pasts that any community can have. a past that has had an impact to the people of the immediate history of that particular time, a past that has had an impact in consecutive generations that have followed, and a past that gives you and I a glimpse into history, which tells us the importance of our responsibility in the absence of the Imam and what we are supposed to do in the absence of Imam alayhi salam. So this past that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is an extremely vibrant past, and our future is an extremely inspirational and a very powerful future, something that we have been told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to look forward to by virtue of the verse that I recited before you. So our future is the 12th Imam, Hazrat Hujjah salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Our past is Karbala, and this past is one of the greatest inspirations for us to look forward to the just society in an ideal world that has been promised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Having said this, I wish to remind ourselves, for us to be able to gauge, to envision, to be able to make a judgment, or to be able to have an idea of the future, we must be aware of the past. We must look at the past. We must study the past. For the past gives us the experience of the mistakes that people have made. We are supposed to take inspiration from the past. The past is supposed to teach us what values they founded. The past is supposed to teach us the experiences of those people towards goodness, as well as the past is supposed to teach us the experience of the people who have made a mistake, so that we don't make the same mistakes again. Having said this, let us ask ourselves a question, for I'm trying to connect Karbala, or the inspiration of Karbala, to the future of the 12th Imam, or of ours in the presence of the 12th Imam, Hazrat Hujjah salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. So we ask ourselves a question as I connect the two. Can I have a salawat ala Muhammad wa ala? So when we look at Karbala, therefore, now, we ask ourselves a question looking at the past. What happened in Karbala? And who were the people who fought the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam? It is one of the most fundamental questions that will give us an idea of what a stagnant society can do, what a society that has become stagnant is capable of doing, what a society that has nothing within itself and is focused on the means rather than the goal can do. The people who violated the rights of the family of the Holy Prophet of Islam were Muslims. They were not non-Muslims. They were not even of the Abrahamic faith, Christians or the Jews. The people who fought the grandson of the Prophet were Muslims. They said La ilaha illallah. They made a declaration, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. They were practicing Muslims. They were not only people who were making declarations. These were the people who, after making their declarations, were also practicing Islam. They prayed, and they were diligent in their prayer. They fasted, supposedly diligent in their prayer. And they fasted, and they performed their Hajj. And some of them were the grandchildren of the companions of the Holy Prophet. And some of them were children of the companion of the Holy Prophet who came to fight against the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam. So Imam alayhi salam explains the recipe and gives us the idea of what happened in Karbala. And this is the khutbah that Imam delivers in the time when Imam is standing in front of these people who killed him, in front of these people who violated the rights of the family of Ahlul Bayt. On the day of Ashura, I just want to take you back into history. On the day of Ashura itself, one of the final sermons that was delivered by Imam Hussein alayhi salam is a sermon which you and I will wonder as to why Imam felt the need of giving a sermon like that. Imam stands after Abbas, and after Ali Akbar was martyred, and after Qasim was trampled under the hooves of the horses. Imam alayhi salam makes or gives a particular sermon to the people. And in this sermon, Imam alayhi salam is saying unto these people, Ya ma'shar al-nas, O people, ansibuni man ana. This is one of the powerful statements that Imam alayhi salam gives and gives us the idea of who these people were. I remind you again, these were practicing Muslims. These people prayed, these people fasted, these people had performed Hajj, these people were hafidhin, some of them were who had memorized the entire Quran. Imam is telling them, Ya ma'shar al-nas, O people, ansibuni man ana, look at me, look towards me, and then tell me who I am. Imam is telling them this question. Who is he speaking to? To the Muslims. He is speaking to people who say La ilaha illallah. He is speaking to people who say Muhammadur Rasulullah. He is speaking to people who are praying. He says to them, Ansibuni man ana, look at me. And then ask yourselves a question, who I am. And then he says, ثُمَّ ارْجِعُوا إِلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ وَعَاتِبُوهَا. And then introspect, go back to your souls. Do a soul searching. And then ask yourselves a question. هَلْ يَحِلُّ لَكُمْ قَتْلِي. Is it permissible for you to kill me? These people are praying. These people are practicing Muslims. These people are fasting. He says, ask yourselves a question. Is it permissible for you to kill me? Is it okay for you to kill me? Is it allowed for you to kill me? Then he reminds them of who he is, as if they don't know who he is. He says, أَوَلَسْتُ ابْنَ بِنْتَ نَبِيِّكُمْ. Am I not the son of the daughter of your prophet? This is Imam giving the khutbah on the day of Ashura. أَوَلَسْتُ ابْنَ بِنْتَ نَبِيِّكُمْ. Am I not the son of the daughter of your prophet? أَوَلَيْسَ حَمْزَةُ سَيِّدُ الشُّهَدَاءُ وَعَمُّ أَبِي. You know Hamza. You know what history Hamza has, he's telling them. Is this Hamza not the uncle of my father? أَوَلَيْسَ جَعْفَرٌ الطَّيَّارُ عَمِّي. Is Ja'far al-Tayyar not my uncle? You know who Ja'far al-Tayyar is. Is he not my uncle? Then he says to them, أَوَلَمْ يَبْلُغْكُمْ قَوْلَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ لِي وَلِأَخِي. Have you not heard of the statement from the Holy Prophet of Islam regarding me and my brother? What statement? هَذَانِ سَيِّدَا شَبَابِ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. That these two are the chiefs of the youth of paradise. Then he asks them a question. What has brought you here to fight against me? What has brought you here to violate the teachings of the Holy Prophet of Islam? What has brought you here to color your hands with the blood of the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam? He asks this question to these people, giving them the opportunity to reflect, giving them the opportunity to think, giving them the opportunity to introspect, giving them the opportunity to realize what they were doing, what stagnation had done to them, what they were doing under the influence of stagnation. Imam alayhi salam carried on. Now, this is the day of Ashura. Imam alayhi salam is speaking to these people. Who are these people? Let me remind you so that we know. These are the Muslims who are bringing their brand of Islam against the Islam original of the Holy Prophet of Islam. When I say their brand, I don't mean they changed the religion. I don't mean they changed the principles. I mean they followed the same principles. But these people fail to understand the essence of what was taught by the Holy Prophet of Islam. I share with you the wasiyat of Imam alayhi salam. There are many sermons that the Imam has delivered, and there are many wasiyats and wills that he has given. One of them is a written will that Imam left. This written will gives us an idea of why Imam alayhi salam left, so that we can connect this to the intidar of the Imam alayhi salam. This written will was given to his brother Muhammad Hanafiya prior to his departure from Medina. He wrote a written will, and in this will Imam alayhi salam says to Muhammad Hanafiya, makes an open declaration of his faith and belief, and then gives the reasons and articulates it in a manner that can remain with an impact for the generations to come. Imam alayhi salam says in this wasiyat to Muhammad Hanafiya, and why did he feel the need to write this wasiyat? So that it remains in the minds of the people as history takes over and as people come throughout the time. In this wasiyat, Imam alayhi salam says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Let it be known to the world that I, Hussein, declare that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. And I declare that Muhammad is the abd of Allah and he is the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ja'a bil haqqi min indi. And he has come with the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore I, Hussein, is making this declaration. Think about what Imam Hussein is doing in front of the Muslims. So he says, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I declare that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah and the abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he says, and I also make a declaration that he has brought the truth from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he says, I make a declaration, وَأَنَّ الْجَنَّةَ حَقٌّ وَالنَّارَ حَقٌّ وَأَنَّ السَّاعَةَ آتِيَةٌ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهَا وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْعَثُ مَنْ فِي الْقُبُورِ. And I, Hussein, declare that paradise is a truth, that the fire of hell is a fact, وَأَنَّ السَّاعَةَ آتِيَةٌ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهَا, and that a day of resurrection that shall come, and there is absolutely no doubt about that day that is going to come. Now he writes his wasiyat after making the declaration of his faith and his belief. Imam alayhi salam says, let it be known to the world, inni lam akhruj ashiran wala batiran wala mufsidan wala zalima. Let it be known to the world that Hussein's departure from Medina, the city of the Holy Prophet of Islam, the city where his mother is buried, he says, let it be known to the world that the departure of Hussein is not without purpose. Inni lam akhruj ashiran wala batiran wala mufsidan wala zalima. I am not leaving because I am stubborn against Yazid. I am not leaving because I have any notion of rebelliousness in me. I am not leaving because I am in pursuit of fame. I am not leaving because I want to corrupt or bring any kind of corruption, or am influenced by satanic influences. Hussein says that are not the reasons for me leaving Medina. The purpose of my leaving Medina is I want to do something specific. He says, إِنِّي لَمْ أَخْرُجْ أَشِرًا وَلَا بَطِرًا وَلَا مُفْسِدًا وَلَا ظَالِمًا إِنَّمَا خَرَجْتُ لِطَلَبِ الْإِصْلَاحِ فِي أُمَّتِي جَدِّي. I am leaving, for I seek to reform the ummah of my grandfather, the Holy Prophet of Islam. This is one of the most important statements for us to take home. إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمتي جدي رسول الله. I am leaving because I seek reformation of the ummah of my grandfather. Reformation from who? The Prophet I mentioned yesterday died 10 after Hijrah. 10 years after his migration from Mecca to Medina. In the 10 years, and I will speak about those 10 years in a moment, in those 10 years, the Holy Prophet of Islam created an ummah. It was the first Islamic state that he created within those 10 years. He took part in the battles and the wars that took place within those 10 years. But he died in 10 after Hijrah, 10 years after the migration of the Holy Prophet of Islam. Hijrah calendar begins as the migration starts. 10 years after he passed away from this world. 61 Hijrah, 10th of Muharram, the event of Karbala took place. This is exactly 50 years after the demise of the Holy Prophet. The state of the Ummah is such that Imam alayhi salam is willing to take his wives, his sisters, the women of the house of Ahlul Bayt. No, is willing to take his children, Akbar, his brother Abbas. No, he is willing to take his child Ali Asad, against all odds against him. He decides to go and makes a declaration of why he is leaving. 50 years had passed after the Prophet created a nation. What kind of a nation did the Prophet create? Who were these people who the Holy Prophet of Islam created? Just to put things into perspective, I'll come back to the wasiyyat in a moment. These were Muslims. These were practicing Muslims. The Holy Prophet of Islam, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, comes to the city of Mecca. He is born at the age of 40. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells him, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. He takes these verses, he comes and makes a declaration of his nubuwwah before the people in Mecca. The people in Mecca are skeptic. They don't take the words of the Holy Prophet of Islam. They ask him various questions. And we will see how many questions the Holy Prophet was asked. He influenced a lot of people through his charismatic way of speaking to the people. Prior to that, the Holy Prophet had already earned the medals of As-Sadiq and Al-Amin. Even his enemies called him As-Sadiq, the truthful, and Al-Amin, the honest. The Holy Prophet of Islam came and said to the people, قُولُوا لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ تُفْلِحُوا. Say La ilaha illallah tuflih. A point of reflection. To the idol worshippers is the Prophet speaking. So the Prophet is speaking to the idol worshippers. He is saying one of the most radical statements you can ever imagine. These people revere the idols. These people give honor to the idols. These people don't breathe without their idols. These people venerate the idols. These people consider the idols to be gods. Suddenly a man comes and in their mind insults their idols. And in their mind speaks one of the most radical statements to the minds of the people. He says to them, قُولُوا لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ تُفْلِحُوا. Say La ilaha illallah, and you shall succeed in everything that you are doing. वो एक सजदा जिसे तू गिरा समझता है, हजार सजदों से देता है आदमी को नजात. That one prostration that is required of you will liberate you from millions of other prostrations that you do on a daily life. He's telling them. No, there's another poet who says, बड़े मूजी को मारा, नफ्स अम्मारा को गर मारा. He says, if you have been able to kill nafs ammara, you will have succeeded in killing a huge thing that gives you, or that is atrocious towards you. He says, बड़े मूजी को मारा, नफ्स अम्मारा को गर मारा, नहंगो अजदहाओ शेर नर मारा तो क्या मारा. If you have been able to kill a crocodile, if you have been able to kill a lioness, if you have been able to kill anything, you have done nothing. You have not killed anything. बड़े मूजी को मारा, नफ्स अम्मारा को गर मारा, नहंगो अजदहाओ शेर नर मारा तो क्या मारा. गया शैतान मारा,
एक ही सजदा न करने पर अगर लाखों बरस सजदे में सर मारा तो क्या? One sajda was required of Shaitan, just one. That's all that was required of him. He had worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 6,000 years. That one sajda was required of him. Which sajda? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the assembly of the angels, وَإِذَا سَوَّيْتُهُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي, when I have molded him and I have blown unto him the spiritual element, فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ, I want you to all prostrate, to bow down in prostration. All prostrated. فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا Iblis. Iblis refused to perform sajda. He got caught up in his ego. He got caught up in his misunderstanding of his own creation. He argued with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not our subject for now. But one sajda. So the Prophet says to these people, these idols don't speak to you. These idols don't benefit you. These idols will not harm you. These are just stones. Who is he speaking? To the pagans of that particular time. To those people who have lost the entire understanding of their own faith. These people who are focused on the issues of means and are not focused on the goal. So the Prophet is speaking to them and he stands to them. How he was able to change the minds of these people, to me, is a miracle in itself. These are idol worshippers. You know what type of people these were? They worshipped their idols. They used to carry their idols with them in their pockets. Whenever they had a problem, they took the idols out, they looked at the idol, they prayed to it, and then they put the idols back in their pockets. If they committed a sin, the idol was with them. If they committed a good, the idol was with them. Whatever they did, the idol was always with them. Interestingly, in history, it says that they used to make idols of everything, including wheat and sugar. They used to make idols from wheat and sugar. They used to create a halwa from that particular idol. They used to wear it in their necks. They used to go places, and if they got stuck somewhere and they felt the need of hunger within them, they took those very idols which they worshipped and ate them as well. This was the mindset of the people. I just want to take you towards the mindset of the people. This was the mindset of the people. They used to perform tawaf of Kaaba naked. When I say naked, they were completely naked. They used to perform the tawaf of Khanekah. They used to offer sacrifices to the idols. There were warring factions within them for a small thing. We have a narration in history that says there was a man of one tribe was chasing a grasshopper. He was following a grasshopper. I mean, you can imagine the mindset, and I'm only saying this so that you understand the mindset of these people. He was chasing a grasshopper. This grasshopper went into the tent of the other tribe, the tribe which was not his tribe, the tribe that was warring against this tribe. He went to follow that particular grasshopper, and as a result they killed this individual. Because they killed him, the people from that particular tribe killed one member of this tribe. And this, over a grasshopper, went on for years and years and years as an animosity between the two tribes. This was the mindset of the people of that particular time. There were people who buried their daughters alive. This was the mindset. Look at the mindset of the people. They buried their daughters alive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, in Surah Al-Nahl, Allah says, وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُمْ بِالْأُنْثَى. When a father used to be given a glad tiding, khush khabari. When a father used to be given glad tiding that a daughter was born in his house. See how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this verse of Quran. وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُمْ بِالْأُنْثَى. When a father received good news, glad tidings, that a daughter was born to him, ظَلَّ وَجْهُهُ مُسْوَدًّا وَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. His face used to turn dark with anger. He was angry that a daughter was born to him. Not only was he angry, Allah describes his anger and the disappointment of this man. يَتَوَارَى مِنَ الْقَوْمِ مِنْ سُوءِ مَا بُشِّرَ بِهِ. He used to hide his face away from the members of the community because he received the news that a daughter was born to him. يَتَوَارَى مِنَ الْقَوْمِ مِنْ سُوءِ مَا بُشِّرَ بِهِ. And then he used to think, أَيُمْسِكُهُ عَلَى هُونٍ أَمْ يَدُسُّهُ فِي التُّرَابِ. Should he bury his daughter alive, or should he live with the humiliation that a daughter was born to his wife? This was the state of the mind of the people. يَتَوَارَى مِنَ الْقَوْمِ مِنْ سُوءِ مَا بُشِّرَ بِهِ أَيُمْسِكُهُ عَلَى هُونٍ أَمْ يَدُسُّهُ فِي التُّرَابِ. Allah says, أَلَا سَاءَ مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. What an evil judgment these people used to make. They used to bury their daughters alive. How did the Prophet change the mindset of these people? It is a miracle in itself. Then the Holy Prophet of Islam is faced by such people. You know, by order of revelation, the Quran that we have today is not compiled by order of revelation. But by order of revelation, the fourth surah that was revealed upon the Holy Prophet of Islam is known as Surah At-Takwir, or Surah Kubbirat. It begins with إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُبِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انْكَدَرَتْ, and it goes on and on and on. There comes a statement where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that verse says, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. When that infant child will be asked the question, what was the crime for which she used to be buried? This verse was revealed at a very interesting time. Amongst the first Muslims who was attracted by the ideology that was brought by the Holy Prophet of Islam was a companion known as Ammar. Ammar's father was Yasir, and Ammar's mother was Sumayya. Ammar used to go, he was affected by the Holy Prophet. He was extremely close to the Holy Prophet. Ammar used to spend a lot of time. Yasir and Sumayya were always uncomfortable that Ammar was spending time with the Holy Prophet of Islam. And they were, because the Holy Prophet was called Majnoon, madman, he was called Sahir, a magician, and so on and so forth. That used to give anxiety to the mother and the father of Ammar. However, before Maghrib, Ammar used to come back home every day. And the parents used to see that Ammar is at home. One evening, Ammar did not return back. Over the night, throughout the night, Yasir and Sumayya were worried about Ammar as to why he had not returned back home. Eventually, in the morning, early hours of the morning, Ammar appeared. Sumayya and Yasir were waiting for him throughout the night. They said to Ammar, do you not know that we are all parents of yours? Ammar, why have you spent the entire night? As it is, we are not happy that you go to this man. Ammar says, I was there because there was a revelation that was being revealed. And the Holy Prophet was explaining that revelation to us. And I was totally lost and mesmerized by what was being revealed to the Holy Prophet. So she asked him, Ammar, what was it that was being revealed to the Prophet that made you forget your parents at home? And he recited these verses, إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُبِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انْكَدَرَتْ. When he reached this point, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ, the child will be asked as to what was the crime for which this child was being buried. Sumayya immediately became alert. And she said to Ammar, did he say this? He says, yes, he said, and it was a revelation that came from the Holy Prophet. She said, oh Ammar, who is this man? I cannot understand, for he is speaking about things which are things of value to mankind. Then she says to Ammar, my son Ammar, do you know, I come from a Qabila that had it not been a mistake, I, Sumayya, would not have survived. I would have been buried alive. Take me to this man so I see who is speaking about the rights of the women in Arabia. His charismatic way of talking to people, the Holy Prophet, this was the mindset of the people of that particular time. The Holy Prophet of Islam, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, is speaking to these people. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is talking to these people. He is creating out of these people. He says to them, say La ilaha illallah, and you will succeed. He is telling them, forget worshipping these idols. But in the most respective way, he was bringing a shift in thinking in the minds of these people. From that particular group of people who were living in lawless society, who were burying their daughters alive, who used to marry, and read history, I'm not making any exaggeration in what I say. A man used to marry between 200 to 250 wives. One man. And you know what the status of the women was? That when the father who had married 200 wives or whatever, the father, if he died, he left all his wives as an inheritance to the eldest son, not as mothers, but as wives. So this was the life of the people. This was the mindset of the people. The Holy Prophet of Islam, by talking to them, by saying, say La ilaha illallah tuflihu, say there is no God and you will succeed. He brought within them a shock treatment. He called Ali ibn Abi Talib. He got him to stand on his shoulders. He smashed the idols, just like Ibrahim had smashed the idols for the people of his time, to bring the state of shock treatment to them. At the same time, he began to create this community. This community produced people. Immediately when he moved to Medina and the wars began, these people had changed from materialism into Tawheed, into the unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they went to war, these people who used to kill each other were people, if in the middle of the war they were hungry and they found one piece of date, they took a date and shared that one date between various soldiers. This is history. That one day, a small piece, so that everyone can share. He created a society. He came to Medina. He brought the Muhajirin. He joined them with the Ansar. He gave them the meaning of brotherhood. This community then created Ammar and Abu Dhar and Salman and Miqdad. These people thought of Islam first, then they thought about the world. But what happened after 50 years? You know who Umar ibn Sa'ad was? He was the son of the companion of the Prophet known as Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas. This was who Umar ibn Sa'ad was. My question that boggles our mind is, Ya Aba Abdullah, this is a community that the Holy Prophet of Islam has raised with his own hands. This community has created people who are practicing. This ummah is a practicing ummah. What reform are you seeking? Ya Hussein, what reform are you seeking? In the wasiyat he says, I am not leaving because I am stubborn or I am rebellious or I am in pursuit of wealth or fame. No. إِنِّي لَمْ أَخْرُجْ أَشِرًا وَلَا بَطِرًا وَلَا مُفْسِدًا وَلَا ظَالِمًا إِنَّمَا خَرَجْتُ لِطَلَبِ الْإِصْلَاحِ فِي أُمَّةِ جَدِّ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. I am leaving for the islah, means for the reform of the ummah of my grandfather. And in this reform, what am I trying to do? أُرِيدُ أَنْ آمُرَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَأَنْهَى عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. I want to focus on Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar. Now, Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar, we see it very a normal small thing, you know. To us, Amr bil Ma'ruf means to correct someone or to stop someone from doing something. To us, it is a very superficial, very small meaning that we think regarding Amr bil Ma'ruf. If somebody is not doing a wudu correctly, you say, I have to do Amr bil Ma'ruf, and you correct his wudu. Yes, it is Amr bil Ma'ruf, but it's a very superficial meaning and very naive to think that that is what Imam Hussein went to fight for in Karbala. Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar is an entire system. It is not part of Furu'e Deen for no reason. When we see it in Furu'e Deen, namaz, roza, Hajj, Zakat, Khums, Jihad. 7th is Amr bil Ma'ruf. 8th is Nahi Anil Munkar. We don't pass namaz. When will we reach Amr bil Ma'ruf, Nahi Anil Munkar? Even namaz we don't go beyond namaz and roza and Hajj and Zakat. Imam alayhi salam says, I want to focus on Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar. What is Amr bil Ma'ruf? By the way, had it not been for Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar, namaz would not have been there. Roza would not have been there. Hajj would not have been there. Amr bil Ma'ruf is a foundation. Namaz and Roza and Hajj and Zakat, the way it has been placed, it doesn't make you and I understand the importance of Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar, because we look at Salat and we think Salat is everything. But these people prayed Salat and they still killed the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam. This is what I want to focus on in the next few days. These people prayed Salat and they still killed Imam alayhi salam. Imam says, I want to focus on Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar. Amr bil Ma'ruf means to institutionalize goodness in the society. Amr bil Ma'ruf means to create a system of repelling evil from the society. Amr bil Ma'ruf means to create a society that will make the environment such that the Qa'im of Ali Muhammad will be able to make his reappearance. This is Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar that Imam Hussein is talking about. So he says, أريد أن آمر بالمعروف وأنهى عن المنكر. I want to do Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar. وأسير بسيرة جدي وأبي. This is the wasiyat of Imam. And I want to reach the seerah, the way of living of the Holy Prophet of Islam and of my father Ali ibn Abi Talib. Then he invites everyone. He says, فَمَنْ قَبِلَنِي بِقَبُولِ الْحَقِّ فَاللَّهُ أَوْلَى بِالْحَقِّ. Whosoever accepts this invitation of mine, well and good for them. وَمَنْ رَدَّ عَلَيْهِ. And whosoever rejects this invitation of mine. Which invitation? For institutionalization of goodness. فَمَنْ رَدَّ عَلَيْهِ. And whosoever rejects me, فَأَصْبِرْ. Hussein will be patient. حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ الْقَوْمِ بِالْحَقِّ. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees between me and the community with truth. وَاللَّهُ أَحْكَمُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. Allah is the best of the judges. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam is now leaving this wasiyat to Muhammad Hanafiya for people to know as to what Imam alayhi salam left for. The culprits were Muslims. They prayed, they fasted, they performed their religious duties, even on the day of Ashura. Even on the day of Ashura. When Imam stood up and told them, introspect, study, go within your souls, ask yourselves a question, and then see whether it is permissible to kill me. On that day, after they brutally massacred the family of the Holy Prophet of Islam and the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam, and they already trampled the body of Imam under the hooves of the horses, they wanted to pray the namaz of Asr. They wanted to pray their salat of Asr. But because there was a storm, they were not able to locate the position of the sun. Because the timing of Dhuhr and Asr and the timing of Dhuhr and Asr are established by the movement of the sun and the shadow of the stick. They could not establish the time for us. And they did not know which way to face and where it was Qibla. It was a desert. Because there was a storm there. They came to Umar ibn Sa'd. They said to Umar ibn Sa'd, "O Umar ibn Sa'd, we want to pray the Salat of Asr. You have killed the grandson of the Holy Prophet. You are now praying the Salat of Asr. You have killed the one in whose house Quran was revealed, and you are killing, and you want to pray your Salat." So they said to Umar ibn Sa'd, "We are unable to establish the time of namaz, and we are unable to establish the position of the Qibla." You know what Umar ibn Sa'd said to them? He said to them, "Don't worry about the Qibla. Look at the spearhead on which is the head of Hussein. For Umar ibn Sa'ad has never known this head to face anywhere but Qibla. This was the ma'rifat that these people had. So I ask myself a question. Why then they did what they did? Why then? What did their namaz do for them? What did their Quran do for them? What did the acts of worship do for them? You know, when you go to the mosques in masjids, in the mosques you will see there is a, maybe you have it here somewhere, I don't know, maybe I have not noticed it, but there is a hadith normally that is kept inside the masjid, which says that when the mu'adhin is giving adhan, you should not talk about worldly affairs. It's a hadith of the Holy Prophet. Don't talk about worldly affairs at the time when when adhan is being recited. And then the hadith carries on two other things when you go to the burial and so on and so forth. But do not speak about worldly issues when adhan is being said. Otherwise, the hadith says, 70 years of your a'mal will be rendered null and void. I ask my God, my Lord, this is too harsh. I come to the mosque for 8 years, and of which I talked one day with someone about the worldly affairs and you took away everything that I had. Does it sit with you that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do? That you have come to the mosque, you have prayed, and you have done everything in the mosque. My Lord, this is quite harsh. For me to talk about a worldly affair, and for you to take away 70 years and render it null and void. But if you look at the hadith in essence, and not in the literal words, it doesn't mean that Allah is going to take 70 years of my a'mal. What the hadith is telling me in context is, if you have come to the mosque for 70 years, oh man, and you have heard the mu'adhin say Allahu Akbar, and the Allahu Akbar has not had any effect in you to keep quiet, then what were you doing in the mosque for 70 years? This is what it means. It doesn't mean that 70 years of my amal are going to be. That is why in Darbare Yazid, when Imam al-Sajjad was delivering his khutbah and he was delivering his sermon, the only way to stop him was to call a mu'adhin and give the adhan. And the mu'adhin came and he said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Imam alayhi salam became silent. These are the people, these are the ones who were praying, who were fasting, who were giving adhan. They could not recognize, or they could not. What happened to these people? What did the salat do for them? The only explanation to this, and we will continue inshallah with this as days go by. The only explanation to this is that they were ritualistic without understanding the essence of the ritual itself. So they prayed. They prayed, they thought that was good enough. They fasted, they thought it was good enough. They were content. They had become stagnant within themselves. Imam Hussein wanted to grant freedom to these people. And that is why we say that Karbala and Imam Hussein alayhi salam are the lifeline and the bloodline of the Shia community. Without Karbala, the Shia community would not have survived. No matter what happened, it was Karbala that made the Shia community survive against all odds. Azadari, not in the context of a ritual, but the essence, the Azadari of Imam alayhi salam, is what has kept this community alive. Raza Sirsavi says, Muttahid rakhe hai, kul qawm ko tasbih azad. He says the entire Shia community is held together by the tasbih of azadari. Tasbih, the nature of tasbih is that it has a thread and then there are beads. So all these beads are held, this is the analogy he gives, all these beads are held by that one thread. He says, muttahid rakhe hai, kul qawm ko tasbih azar. Door tootegi to dane bhi bikhar jayenge. If the string breaks, then all the beads will scatter. Door tootegi to dane bhi bikhar jayenge. मछलियां रह नहीं सकती कभी पानी के बगैर. हम जुदा होंगे गमे शेख से तो मर जाएंगे. As a Shia community, if we leave azadari aside, we as a Shia cannot survive. That which has made us survive until today is the azar of Imam alayhi salam. Coming to connect this to the 12th Imam alayhi salam. I think it is Josh Wali Abadi, but I don't know who it is. The poet says, इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो. You've heard this poem many times. इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो. I love the choice of words of the poet. He doesn't say Musalman ko. He doesn't say Shia ko. He says इंसान को बेदार तो हो लेने दो. Let a human come to the state of awakening and study Hussein. हर कौम पुकारेगी हमारे Hussein. Every denomination of every religion will be compelled to say Hussein belongs to us, based on the values and the teachings of Imam alayhi salam. When they study what he stood for, people like Mahatma Gandhi were inspired. When they studied what he stood for, people like Nelson Mandela quoted Imam Hussein alayhi salam in the books. Hussein is a bloodline for you and I. Har qawm pukaregi, hamare hai Hussein. My question to you is, when will that happen? And who will cause it to happen? And who will take Hussein outside? And who will tell the world who Hussein is? Should the azadar of today, so what we are doing in our azadari, raising our hands and striking on our chests, this is our expression of love to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is an expression of protest to the world that we stand for Imam alayhi salam. But we have to move the goalposts. While this is happening, the azadar of Imam Hussein needs to continuously grow and go further and further. In essence, he needs to grow. I'm going to put a question to your minds and think about it. Shouldn't the azadar of today, having studied Karbala and the theme of Karbala, shouldn't the azadar of today not be heading the human rights organization as the azadar of Imam alayhi salam? Should he not be heading the civil rights organizations in the world in the name of Imam Hussein? But when I ask myself a question, how many of us in this room are members of human rights organizations? There is no movement. And I'm talking about myself. There is no movement. Stagnation has taken over. Rituals are there, but we are not moving from the rituals. We think the ritual itself is a goal. The goal has a different perspective or a different idea altogether. We are sitting here. What happened in Karbala was that there were people who were stagnant to the extent that they did not recognize the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam and the Islam that he stood for. After having learnt from the Holy Prophet what he had to teach, Hussein is a lifeline for you and I. Chishti says, Shah asked Hussein. Hussein is a king. I like analyzing poems myself. He says, Shah asked Hussein. Hussein is a king. Perhaps he realized that this word king is not adequate for Hussein. And therefore he says, no. He adds this, Shah asked Hussein, the Shah asked Hussein. Hussein is not the king, he's the king of kings. Deen asked Hussein. He says Hussein is the Deen. He realizes this is inadequate. He says, no, Deen Panah asked Hussein. He is not Deen. He is a place where Deen comes and seeks refuge. Din Panah hast Hussein. Sardar nadad dast dar dast Yazid. He gave his head. He refused to pay the oath of allegiance to Yazid. Haqqa ki bina ila ilah hast Hussein. Truly the foundations of La ilaha illallah lie on the shoulders of Hussein. You must have heard of this poem, or this poet who says, Gham ka ilaj iske siwa aur kuch nahi. There is no cure for the pain except one. He says, Gham ka ilaj iske siwa aur kuch nahi. Khake shifa hai meri dawa aur kuch nahi. That which gives me shifa is the khak of Karbala. When I say the khak of Karbala, this is not literal. It doesn't mean literal khak of Karbala. It is meaning the philosophy of Karbala. It is meaning the essence of Karbala. If I understand it, my spiritual illnesses will disappear from me. Khake shifa hai meri dawa aur kuch nahi. Then he progresses in his poem. And he says, Male Khadija, Zarbe Ali, Sajdae Hussain. He says the wealth of Khadija, the strike of Ali, and the prostration of Hussein, Islam mein bas iske siwa aur kuch nahi. In Islam there is nothing beyond these three things. Then he progresses further. Perhaps he thinks about it. And he says, Usne kaha ke deen ki taarikh puri likh. Someone told me, write me the history of religion. मैंने फकत हुसैन लिखा और कुछ. All I could do was write Hussein. Without Hussein, Hussein is a bloodline that connects us to the time of the 12th Imam. Only if we take inspiration from Karbala and from Imam Hussein.
Sayyid al-Shuhada, Nare
If we take inspiration from Karbala, we understand the problem within ourselves. We eliminate those things that are causing or holding us back, those things that are stifling our growth. We need to refer back to Karbala. We need to refer to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, who will connect us to the period of intidar that you and I are sitting in and become a bridge for you and I. This intidar that you and I have is a passive intidar. It is not an active intidar. As Azadari is a movement, intidar is a movement to create that society of Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi anil Munkar for Imam to make his reappearance. They say Imam himself is waiting to reappear. Perhaps it is our responsibility to make sure that his reappearance hastens. When we say, may Allah hasten your reappearance, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. We recite this every ziyarat. When we recite the ziyarat of the 12th Imam, we say, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif. May Allah hasten your reappearance. That's what we say. Do you think by us saying only, the reappearance is going to be hastened? What does our dua mean anyway? We'll talk about it in the next lecture, inshallah. What does our dua mean anyway? Anyway, what value does our dua have? Why would God listen to me? If he wanted to send him, why would he have to wait for me to say to him, send him? Why? Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif means become active. Do something so that his reappearance is hastened. You have a responsibility, oh man. Not just one click of a finger and Imam is going to come back. No, you and I have this responsibility to become true Hussainis so that we can receive the 12th Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Otherwise, 1400 years is a long period of time. If 50 years stagnated the community to the extent that they killed the grandson of the Holy Prophet of Islam, then 1400 years is a long period of time. We must introspect and see, how could they kill? How could they bring brutality to the family of Ahlul Bayt? They killed the 6-month-old child of Imam Hussein. Azadar and Imam Hussein. Hussein अपने नन्हे से अली असगर को एक मर्तबा सरजमीन करबला में कहते हैं, बेटा
تم حجت خدا کے فرزند ہو، میرے لال تم بھی اپنی حجت تمام کرو۔ علی اصغر اپنی ننھی سی سوکھی زبان ہونٹوں پر پھراتے ہیں، یہ دیکھ کہ اشقیہ میں تلاطم برپا ہو گیا۔ عمر سعد ڈرا، ہرملہ کو حکم دیا، ہرملہ اقطع کلام الحسین، حسین کے کلام کو قطع کر دے۔ ہرملہ ملعون نے کیا کیا، 3 بھال کا تیر چلے کمان میں جوڑا اور علی اصغر کی گردن کو نشانہ بنایا۔ پہلا تیر کمان سے نکلا، حسین علی اصغر کو زمین سے اٹھا رہے تھے، تیر نشانے پہ نہ لگا۔ دوسرا تیر نشانے پہ نہ لگا۔ عمر سعد آگے بڑھا اور ہرملہ سے کہا، ہرملہ میں عمر سعد یہ گواہی دیتا ہوں کہ میں نے کبھی بھی نہیں دیکھا کہ تم نے تیر نشانے پہ نہ لگایا ہو، ہمیشہ میں دیکھتا آیا ہوں کہ تم نشانے پہ تیر لگاتے ہو۔ ننھا سا علی اصغر ہے، حسین پیاسے ہیں، یہ کیا بات ہے کہ تمہارا تیر نشانے پہ نہ لگا؟ ایک مرتبہ ہرملہ کہتا ہے، عمر سعد ذرا اونچائی پہ آ کر دیکھ، جب بھی میں تیر کو کمان میں لگاتا ہوں اور علی اصغر کی گردن کو نشانہ بناتا ہوں، خیمے کا پردہ اٹھتا ہے، ایک بیوی باہر نکلتی ہے۔ میرا دل کہتا ہے یہ ہو نہ ہو اصغر کی ماں، میرا دل کہتا ہے یہ ہو نہ ہو اصغر کی ماں ہے۔ تیر چلے کمان سے نکلا، علی اصغر کے نازک گلے پر آیا، بچہ باپ کی آغوش پہ منقلب ہو گیا۔ فانقلب الصبی علی یدی ابی، بچہ باپ کی آغوش میں منقلب ہو گیا۔ علی اصغر کی روح جنت کو پرواز کر گئی۔ حسین علی اصغر کو لے کر خیموں کی طرف جانے لگے۔ ارباب مقاتل لکھتے ہیں کچھ قدم خیمے کی طرف جاتے تھے، رک جاتے تھے، پلٹ کے واپس آ جاتے تھے، کچھ قدم خیموں کی طرف جاتے تھے، پھر مقتل کی طرف آ جاتے تھے، کچھ قدم چلتے تھے، پھر واپس آ جاتے تھے۔ میں پوچھوں گا مولا 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 کیوں اس طرح سے؟ شاید جواب آئے، علی اصغر کو راہ خدا میں پیش کرنا آسان تھا، مگر اس بچے کو اپنی ماں کے سامنے لے جانا آسان تھا۔ ایک مرتبہ خیمے کی طرف آئے اور زینب کو پکارا، علی اصغر کو لے کر آئے، زینب کو پکارا، زینب رباب کو سنبھالو، زینب رباب کو سنبھالو۔ جناب زینب نے رباب کو سنبھالا، حسین علی اصغر کو لے کر آئے، ننھی سی علی اصغر کو لے کر آئے، لاشیں علی اصغر کو لے کر آئے، ابا کے سائے میں تھا۔ ایک مرتبہ رباب کو زینب پکڑے ہوئے تھی، رباب نے حسین سے پوچھا، میرے سید و آقا کیا میرے بچے کو پانی ملا ہے؟ حسین نے اپنے ابا کے سائے کو ہٹایا، ماں نے اپنے بچے کو دیکھا، خدا کسی ماں کو اپنی اولاد کا یہ حال نہ دکھائے، من کا ڈھلا ہوا تھا۔ رباب نے اصغر کو دیکھ کے کہا، بنیا امثلک یبحر، کیا تمہارے جیسے بچے کو بھی نہر کیا جاتا؟ یہ کہہ کے رباب بے ہوش ہو گئی، حسین زمین پر بیٹھ گئے، زینب نے سہارا دیا، حسین زمین پر بیٹھے ہوئے تھے، گریہ کر رہے ہیں۔ جب رباب کو غش سے افاقہ ہوا، حسین نے علی اصغر کو رباب کی گود میں دے دیا۔ رباب اپنی ننھی سی جان علی اصغر کی ننھے سے علی اصغر کو دیکھ رہی ہے۔ پھر حسین نے آہستہ سے رباب سے کہا، رباب اٹھو، ساتھ چلو، میرے ساتھ چلو۔ رباب خیموں کے پیچھے آئے، حسین نے ایک نیزہ اٹھایا، قبر کو کھودنا شروع کیا۔ رباب کی آغوش میں علی اصغر ہیں، حسین قبر کو کھود رہے ہیں، سرزمین کربلا ہے، حسین قبر کو کھود رہے ہیں۔ عزاداران امام حسین ارباب مقاتل لکھتے ہیں کہ قبر کو کھودتے کھودتے ایک مرتبہ فرات کی طرف دیکھ کے حسین نے کہا، عباس۔ حسین نے عباس کو آواز دی۔ میں پوچھوں گا مولا ابھی عباس کے شانے اٹھائے تھے آپ نے؟ مولا ابھی تو عباس اس دنیا میں نہیں رہے، عباس دریا کی ترائی پہ سو رہے ہیں، لیکن جب تاریخ کا مطالعہ کیا تو میں نے دیکھا پیغمبر اسلام کے بیٹے ابراہیم کا جب انتقال ہوا تو پیغمبر اسلام نے مولا کائنات کو بلایا اور کہا، یا علی میرے بچے کے غسل و کفن و دفن کا انتظام کرو، اس لیے کہ ایک باپ
باپ کے لیے اپنے بیٹے کو دفن کرنا آسان نہیں ہوتا. شاید عباس کو اس لیے پکارا ہو, عباس اس امتحان کو بھی حسین انجام دے رہا ہے. میں اپنے ہاتھوں سے اپنے اصغر کو دفن کر رہا ہوں. عزادارو, ماں کی آغوش میں بیٹا ہے, حسین قبر کھود رہے ہیں. میں پوچھوں گا, اے آسمان, تو نے کبھی دیکھا ہے ایک باپ قبر کھود رہا ہو ماں کی آغوش؟
چاند میرے تیری پیاس میں بجھاؤں, اصغر میں تیری ماں ہوں. آ جاؤ چاند میرے تیری پیاس میں بجھاؤں, اصغر میں تیری ماں ہوں. آ جاؤ چاند میرے تیری پیاس میں اصغر میں تیری ماں ہوں. آ جاؤ چاند میرے تیری پیاس میں بجھاؤں, اصغر میں تیری ماں ہوں. میرے لاڈلے کہاں ہو, میرے لاڈلے کہاں ہو, سینے تمہیں لگاؤں, اصغر میں تیری ماں ہوں. آ جاؤ چاند میرے تیری پیاس میں بجھاؤں, اصغر میں تیری ماں ہوں. آ جاؤ چاند میرے تیری پیاس میں بجھاؤں,